Hello everyone, today I'm going to do a review and swatches on 4 palettes from Shop Hush, and they're all by the brand Bad Habit. I bought these on my own, but I'm going to give you my honest review. So we're going to start with my Retro Love palette. It looks like this. This is the back. And Bad Habit is cruelty free. So I think almost everything on Shop Hush is cruelty free. It does tell you if it is or not. It comes with a very large mirror. This is what the palette looks like. This is my least favorite out of all the 4 palettes that I have. I'm going to show you guys quick swatches and I will explain why it's my least favorite and what colors I'm not particularly fond of, and I'm actually going to end up cutting up this palette and getting rid of some of the colors. So, okay. This is the top row. You guys can see that. These are a little harder to see on camera, but this is like a white but with a pink iridescent, and this is a greenish gold shimmer color, and that's those. The darker ones, like these two and this one, are my least favorite in the palette, and I may end up getting rid of them because they do blend very patchy. This one isn't as bad though. And this is the bottom row. For the most part, I only really dislike this one and this one for the bottom row. This one's a little bit patchy, but the rest of them, like, this is a beautiful color. The rest of them are fairly pigmented. They're all actually very pigmented, but some are a little patchy. This is a dupe for the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette. It is a palette that I did want, but it has carmine in it. This one does not, so that is why I purchased this one. Also, the price point, because I wasn't sure about if I would like these colors. And I'm going to say, I don't know if it's because they're patchy, the darker blues, but I'm not really a fan of these dark blues and these grayish green colors. So, or maybe they're just not my colors besides them being patchy, but it is a very pretty palette, and if you're able to work with the darker tones, then it is pretty much an exact dupe for the Subculture palette. I've seen many review videos. I don't have the actual Subculture palette to show you guys the comparisons. I don't have any of the high-end dupes for these. That's why I bought the palettes, because I wanted them, and this is only, I think this was 10 or 12, I can't remember, but if you spend, I mean, there's free shipping and no minimum needed if you use their app. So that's this one, and I think it's for US only. I may be wrong. I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, my favorites out of this, these two are really pretty. If you use a glitter glue, this is very beautiful. Same with, so that's Psychedelic and Icon and Revolution are some of my favorites in this palette. I also really like Flower Power, and I like these yellowy mustard colors and this peach color and Peace. And this Rock and Roll is very pretty, but those are the standout ones, and for 12 bucks I'm okay with just those colors. So I think the ones that didn't perform as well for me, I'm just going to get rid of. The packaging is very nice. It's a very heavy cardboard, all these are, and they have a very large mirror, which is something you don't see in cheaper palettes, but look at that mirror. Anyway, I really like that palette, but this is my least favorite out of the 4. This one is my newest. It's the Aura palette. And I do really like this. But again, the darker, it's not really that many dark colors, but the dark colors are patchier. So like this color here in Vibe and also Immortal are fairly patchy. But actually the rest of them are really nice. So I really love the shimmery colors in here, and there's a lot of them, so I really enjoy that. I don't think I'm going to depot this one because I like so many of them, but this is what it looks like for you guys. And this is a dupe for the Anastasia Beverly Hills Prism palette. I haven't used this bright yellow yet, so I'm going to give you guys some swatches. And that is the top row. This color is fairly patchy, so you gotta be careful. Not fairly patchy, it's very powdery. So you just got to be careful with it. But the rest of them are pretty good. I don't have any issues with this. This isn't as bold as it shows up in the pan, but if you use a good primer, it should show up well in your lids. And these are beautiful colors. This is a great crease shade. It's really pretty mauve color. And that right there is the bottom row. This one you can barely see on my skin, but it's a very light beige. This brown is not half bad. I really like this green. This orange is nice. Purple. This bronzy shade is very nice, but this shade, I think it's called Immortal. It's a dark blue. This thing is very gritty. So, like I said, there's only really 2 misses in this palette for me. There's really actually only one dud to me, and that's this Immortal shade, which is when you even touch it with your finger, it's extremely gritty. But this is a great palette for $12. And those shimmers with some glitter glue are awesome. I've used every one of these palettes like 5 or 6 times each because I wanted to give you guys an extensive review. They wear well on the lids. I use a primer, and with the shimmery shades I use my NYX glitter glue, and they last all day except the few patchy ones that are in the Retro Love. Those are actually faded and got worse during the day, sadly enough. But I haven't had an issue with this one yet. And that's the back of that one. And these two are my absolute favorite Aphrodite palette. So it looks like. Same kind of substantial cardboard. And it has a very large mirror. Very beautiful colors. The shimmers in here are amazing. Mattes, they're pretty good. Like, they're good mattes. I didn't have too many issues with this palette. The only color I have yet to try is this one in the corner. So I don't wear black eyeshadow. But from what I've used, I really like it. But I'm going to show you guys swatches of all these. I'll give you guys a close-up first. Hopefully it's showing true to color on the camera. And here's the first half of the palette. I find this shade to be very patchy. I think this one's Sparks. This one's not patchy. I find this one to be very powdery. This is the color Sparks. The rest of them are pretty good. The red was a little gritty, but it did swatch very well. And they're very pretty shades. I don't know about this last one though. You guys can see that? And here are the rest of the swatches for the Aphrodite palette. And this is a very pigmented matte black, so if that's something you're interested in, that's probably one of the blackest blacks I've seen. It does blend away, so just be careful blending it too much. This is very faint on my skin, very similar to the Peace color that was in the last palette. And these are the shimmers, very beautiful, and then 3 more mattes. Last palette that I have from Shop Hush is the Athena palette, and this is by far my favorite palette from Shop Hush. Also probably one of my favorite palettes in my collection. It is a same as the Aphrodite, but this is a dupe for the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk. And I am obsessed with the purple shades in here. I'm obsessed with this pressed glitter. It's like they got it perfect. And I see a lot of reviews comparing it and swatches, and they look exactly the same. Some people even say this one's better than the Huda Beauty one. There's that for you guys. First half of the swatches, and these swatch beautifully, by the way. And they work very well in the eyes. I see no issues with blending. And they're just, maybe that one might, but they're beautiful, beautiful shadows. I think these are 12 as well. They might be 16. I'm not 100% sure. This is the last bit of swatches, and these mattes are very beautiful. These are the shimmer shades. This is the glitter shade. This is without glitter glue. I just have it swatched on my skin, no primer. You definitely need a glitter glue because it is a straight pressed glitter. And then this is the last color, which is a little lackluster, but the rest of them are so beautiful. Look at those swatches. If you're going to pick up any of the palettes from Shop Hush, definitely get this. I think it is sold out right now, but for good reason. It is an amazing palette. And then the second one I think I'd recommend is the Aura. The Aphrodite is very good, but I think I like the Aura better because the shimmers are very pretty. I don't know. I really like them. The only one that was a flop for me really was the Retro Love. I just discovered Shop Hush, so I don't know how the quality was of the Bad Habit palettes prior, but I feel like they've been stepping up their game with each new palette, so I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what they come out with. They have one that's like super colorful right now. What is it called? I don't know what it's a dupe for. They had a dupe for the Anastasia, Denona, Sunset, and Lila palettes, and I skipped on them because I really don't need any more eyeshadow palettes. But I'll give you a quick overview of the app. So this is one of their newest shadow palettes, and this is by the brand Face Candy. So this is not Bad Habit, but I'm going to show you guys. This one's $16. I don't know what this is a dupe for, but it looks very familiar, if you guys know. And this is one of the ones they have on there right now. And their app is very interesting. If you just go to the front, it has stuff on the top here. I hope you guys can see this. And it'll just say bestseller, $2 and under. And then I like to go to bestseller because that's where I find everything. Like they have a dupe for the Naked Heat. And that's that one. It's the Inferno palette, which is $12. The Retro Love is only $10, by the way. All the other palettes I showed you were $12. They have this one. I don't know what this is a dupe for. Maybe you guys know. It looks very familiar though. It looks like a ColourPop palette. And this is their Milkshake palette. And that's by Face Candy as well. Face Candy also makes a dupe for the Peach palette. But they do have brands on there like NYX. They have the Balm. They had some of the real Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. So this is a dupe, I think, for the, I don't know what that one is. I want to say Moonchild, but yeah. Like they have dupes for the Lime Crime palettes. If you want the colors and you're not interested in supporting Lime Crime and the prices are expensive, this is the one I have. This one, that's a dupe for the Too Faced Natural Love palette for $16. And they show swatches for everything, which is awesome. For the most part. Some of them don't have swatches. And they have regular brands. They have NYC Beauty on here. Beauty Creations, which I bought from before. This is one of the palettes I own from Beauty Creations. It's the Irresistible palette, which is a dupe for the Modern Renaissance. They have a dupe for the Kat Von D Metal Matte palette. The Natural Matte Metal palette. And then they have like City Color, which has this really pretty shimmer palette. That's it. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos. Most of them are going to be makeup based, as I said in a couple of my other videos, because I'm not really into fashion anymore because I work so much and I'm not really like fashionable. I used to be. Not really anymore. As I'm getting older, I like basic clothes and I like to do makeup. Like I started wearing lipstick all the time now, and that's just something I'm more into now. So that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video.